The All Nations International Fellowship Church in Beijing hosted a spiritual conference on the last weekend of May. People of diverse faiths and multiple nationalities attended the three-day conference, which boasted a family-friendly atmosphere with the occasional bursts of spiritual passion. Since the timing happily coincided with African Union Day, the organizers celebrated God and the Christian faith, but with an African twist. One regular member of the congregation used the occasion to launch his petition about a historical wrong in Africa that has never been righted. Bulgarian national Dr. Miroslav Atanasov is a teacher at Renmin University. He has extensively studied the so-called African Holocaust that happened 100 years ago when King Leopold II of Belgium occupied Congo as his own private plantation.
He started with forming these humanitarian organizations, which were actually smokescreen organizations for what he actually wanted to do. Basically deceiving the tribal chiefs in the Congo Basin in Central Africa to sell their lands to him, which helped him to make his possession of the Congo legal before the Europeans, before the Americans, before the Westerners. He sent a Belgian force of soldiers, they were called the Force Publique, who hired a cannibalistic tribe to kind of work for them. And they enslaved the local people, enslaved the men to extract rubber. The women were held hostage and often raped while their men were collecting rubber, including the little children.
King Leopold deliberately destroyed the records of his conquest. This makes it difficult to estimate exactly how many people died in this Holocaust, but modern historians put the number between 10 to 13 million, double the number of Jews murdered by the Nazis in World War II.
They had the rubber quota. You don't have enough rubber, you report a hand. You have to cut someone's hand. One German newspaper reported 1,308 hands to one of the district commissioners in one day. There's this picture of this man who brings the hand and the foot of his little girl and says this is what they left of her. They say for every bullet you bring a hand back, a severed hand. So if they waste a bullet, they'll cut the hand of a living person.
The Holocaust may have happened 100 years ago, but its effects linger to this day. Congo is the world's most resource-rich nation, but the population has not benefited from its abundant gold, diamond, copper, and oil. Instead, the nation has been locked in a cycle of violence and conflict that started when King Leopold took over their lands.
I'm from Congo, DRC, from the eastern part in Bukavu. I left my country in the 1998 because of the war. And it was after the war and we couldn't study anymore, and my dad had to move us out and we went to another country, and that's where we grew up.
Still, King Leopold has undeniably been dead for a century, and Congo won independence from the Belgians nearly half a century ago. So does any of this history really matter so many years later?
Well, I definitely think it'll matter to the Congolese, and I think it also will matter to the Belgian people as well. And I think it will matter to the world because who they are as a country, Belgium, they're not a small, powerless, obscure country. They're the capital of the European Union.
Declaration. We, the undersigned spiritual leaders, scholars.
The petition demands a number of steps from the Belgian government, including acknowledgement of the Holocaust, apology for the murders, and removal of public monuments celebrating King Leopold's bloody legacy. Though the petition is about crimes committed in another continent more than a century ago, the organizers were forced to sign the petition outside the church. This is because they were afraid of the Chinese government, which has banned all kinds of political activities inside churches. Even if the Belgian government does not pay attention, on behalf of Europeans, Dr. Atanasov and his fellow organizers have themselves apologized to the Congolese people, represented in this case by Bishop Malumba.
And I want to be your servant tonight and ask forgiveness on behalf of my people. I want to do something that Jesus did in John chapter 13. He washed with his disciples feed.
Bishop Malumba himself is very positive about the future of his people.
Through centuries, we have seen powerful nations like Ethiopia, like Egypt, and we know that all those things that God has done in the past, He will do it again. That's why I told people that Africa shall rise again.